wonderful. You could have gone finished.
I think we decided we would stop at some point.
Good, yeah, great. So we have some time. Yes,
it.
wonderful. First of all, wonderful that you actually chosen this piece, that you prepared so well, and I can hear that you have given it a lot of thoughts. Excellent. Because all these voices, there's a lot of it coming through now, this communication which he's asking us for, right? The communication between the various voices, and you showed that beautifully. What do you think is very typical in this piece, or what's when you think between piano and strings, what's happening? Is there anything which sticks out?
Dialogue.
Contrasting.
Dialogue.
Contrasting. You said contrast, exactly. So it's really, I think, a very typical feature of this piece and also of Faure very often. He treats the piano as a piano and the strings as a strings, and it doesn't try to make a piano, give them super long lines or make it sound like the strings or anything, or vice versa, trying to be more like a piano and more crazy. But he allows us to bring our colors out, right? And I think we have to really say, yes, this is very sensitive music, this is emotional music. Apparently for Faure, he was a very humble person, but for him it was the biggest mission in life to bring the emotions across. If he felt he was understood, that he had a lot of colors to give, yeah, like the French music is all very colorful music. And if we think as sensitive as we can, as a range of, in a painting, from the pink and the gray soft colors to the very dramatic something, and then back again. And I think here, where is drama in this piece? Can you tell me where are high points? How many are there? So let's say at the beginning, well, what is this when we start with the opening theme?
At the beginning.
How can we figure out?
Yes.
What do you think?
I think the first drama is the.
Yeah, and in the first theme, he sort of, it seems to be something flowy and out there, right?
Yeah.
So what is happening in the middle section, yeah? Which we call development. You know where the development is? Which part?
Yes.
18, I think, after the pizzicato chords.
Yes, when who introduces it, the development?
The first
I think the piano.
Exactly, very good. The piano has the tune. The piano suddenly starts da di ya beep ba beep ba, has little triplets. Yeah, that's the indication. Oh, hello, this time I'm different. And he plays dee dum ba dum. What do you do there? What dynamics have you written?
Piano.
Yeah, so piano and it's dolce.
Bar 69.
Are we talking about 74
74.
in the development?
Yeah, dolce it says.
Dolce?
It's
So
the-
dee
Oh,
dum.
actually it's pianissimo. Sempre pianissimo. in the
Sempre
dolce.
pianissimo, all the time, super, super, super
Yeah.
dolcissimo. And this is a development. Usually, it's all different in a development. In development, usually it's just more dramatic and more crazy and whatever. But here, it's all whispering and shimmery and super sensitive colors. Very different from actually anything we know in developments of a piece, right? In the sonata form. So I think we need to bring that out much, much, much more clearly. And we need to find a balance a little bit in between our instruments. I hear often more first violin than I can hear cello or viola sometimes. And I think we can balance this out better. I think you have done a lot, good rhythmical stuff as well, which is very complicated with this offset in beats and so on, right? Now in the opening tune, I wanted to ask our audience if this piece is in 2 or in 3. Can we just play the first tune again? Just think for yourself, is that written in 3 or is it in 2? You just play it again. Thank you. So what do you think, our audience?
I counted it in 3, but then my instinct was to take it in 2.
Exactly.
Because the weighty.
Exactly. So it's basically, he confuses us, and it's typical also for Faure's music. He wants to confuse us. He doesn't want to be so clear. That's, again, very French music. Yeah? He wants not to always tell us which harmony we are playing. He disguises us. We might come maybe to that later. So where actually harmonies get colored with other extra notes, and rhythms don't get just straight, but they get across the line and off, and we have to somehow find a natural flow in amidst all that, and that's not easy, right? So let's try one more time the opening, and I think you can be much more stormy. Faure had just gotten engaged to his girlfriend. He had trying to be asking to get together for 5 years, right? And she said finally yes, and then after 4 months she broke it all off. She said, "You're too complicated for me. I can't deal with it." So you have to have that in your dee-dum, da-dee, da-da-dum, da-dee, da-da. It needs to be there, yeah? And so I'd like you to solidly feel where the high point is of that phrase, where you think dee-dum, da-dee, da-da-dum, da-da, da-dee, da-dum, dee-dee-dum, da-da. So which note?
Well, it's the end of the forte section.
So I mean, like in the 1, 2, 3, 4, in the 1, 2, 3, the 3, 4 bars at the beginning before the pianissimo. Where's the main note?
I think in the 4th bar, the G.
The G, yeah, the G is there.
Okay.
Da da yum da dee da da dum da dum da dum da dum da dee da dee. Oh?
Yeah.
And but let's get that storm. Let's get that fiery, somewhat romantic music here. Yeah. And you're doing nicely, Ludwig. Just the offbeat really so light. Yeah.
Okay.
Ja. And shape it beautifully. Yeah, that's good. And always listen. Yeah, for what he does. Lovely. What I wanted to say is it already felt a bit that it had a bit more hanging together, right? It was already much better. You emphasized that G note in the bar 4. Then when the pianissimo came, it didn't feel together, and I think you should have a different bowing, because you're all playing on a down bow there. I don't think that works.
Where is that?
In bar 5.
Bar 6.
Yeah.
Oh, bar 6.
If for the ensemble, yeah. You should be at the tip, I think.
Okay.
It should be. Because if that's not at a tip, I don't think you can get a really decent pianissimo. So I would suggest to do the last little semiquaver. Yeah, an up bow. Can you try that once? Sorry for about piano.
From the beginning.
Play the beginning, yeah? And stormy. Ta 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 ta. A big time. Another one. Da da da. Okay, very, very good. First of all, for the chords, it cannot ring if we go without vibrato. At least we need to have some vibrato there in the chords, right? Let's try this once. I'll be pizzicato, and let's try just to do a vibrato with pizzicato. Can we go from for the chords? Just go and do play all chords pizzicato, but with vibrato. 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 2, 3. Plump, 2, 3. Jenny, do you know where we are?
Yes, I'm not doing pizzicato there.
So it's no, but I want us to practice. So you focus
Oh,
on your
sorry.
vibrato
Sorry.
for the chords, yeah?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 2, 3, bum, bum. Yeah, you do it. I miscounted it. Can you go again, Jenny? Good. Good. And now let's do the same with the bow. So the bow. What are you doing? Down, down, or down, up? What are you doing?
Down, down, down.
Well, it'll be down, I think.
Whatever you like, but make sure the sound rings, yeah?
2, 3.
Good. Of course, it's also in tune, yeah, the A flats and so on. Let's make sure all the notes are in tune as well. Again, for the pitch, but sound is getting better. Click, 1, 2. Good. And then Jenny, very nice. I want to also try once and down bow. Just for the feel. For the gentleness of it. So it's because it's only not so active. Yeah, just let it happen.
Okay.
So ya pa 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 plum dee da. Can we just do that very bar?
Okay.
Everybody?
14.
No.
It's 17?
17.
17. Yeah.
Ya pa 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 pa.
Sorry, I'm hitting the wrong part of the bow, actually.
Very good. Excuse me, Jenny. You don't have to do it down bow, but you get a character of it. You know, it's more gentle.
Quite different,
It feels different. It's also like when you do the up bow for the pianissimo and the opening. That really helps to do that. All right. And I think Ludwig, if you could in this beep, 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 give her a little bit more ease, like later on as well, before the second subject. I think it's a bit hard for us to go da 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 da, yeah. Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to give the accent on the beat.
Yeah, and then ease off the tempo a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we need to go a bit earlier so that it makes sense. So let's go from bar 17, 16, 15, 14.
14.
Yeah, 14. No, we're not together.
Sorry, that wasn't right.
No. 2, 3. Okay, it's still not quite together. So the yeah, ba ba di da da. He has the second beat tied over, yeah. Ba da ba di da di da 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 di ba di ba da da da. It was sometimes a bit early. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, excuse me. Very good. So now let's go back a little bit from to about 10, 11, 12. How about that? We go to high point. Can we go from there?
2, 3.
Okay. On this one. Okay, it's not a good spot to start. But when we get there, really royal with your bow, really legato, 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 legato bows, and left hand just rolls down, yeah? Let's go from the pianissimo back there from.
Bar 6.
Yeah, pa 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 da da da
Bar
da.
6.
Bar 6.
Sorry.
Yeah, pa 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 pa. Can we have everybody really pianissimo? Especially, can the piano go even softer? Is that possible?
Okay.
It's a super, super soft color there. Can you just show us the left hand? What you have there in the left hand?
The left hand.
Yeah. And if this, even that can be a murmur. I know it's hard in the octaves, yeah. But oh, and the right hand really super soft.
Yeah.
So you need to hear that, right? As you play da da dee, da da. You need to listen to the bass. Can we connect that? Yeah, let's do that. Jenny, as you play with the piano, yeah, you hear him, and everybody, we join in straight away, yeah. Can we go from our famous bar with the piano? Yep, blom dee, or da,
17.
yeah.
14.
14.
No,
No, I thought we were going from 17.
17.
17.
Can we go 17?
17? Yeah.
Yeah.
2, 3.
Very good. But I think your da da da. This is a more dramatic. Hello, I'm having a question here, and you go, oh, super soft answer, and then he comes again and does the same. That's a very big moment actually, and he really writes forte, and he comes out of that nothingness, an outrage, yeah, or something like this. All right. So maybe we go from your call, dum da dee da da dum, and you answer in piano.
Okay. So that's 22.
Yeah.
2, 3.
Good. Now lots of cello. Excuse me. You know, he tells us here that actually we have, how many bars do we have for a crescendo?
1.5.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's again
One
typical
and a
Faure.
note, actually.
It's typical Faure. He doesn't give us much time to create a big crescendo, and you have to take this much more seriously. And I think the cello can also help a lot there. You know, and this bar 31, if you go bo-do, and a really big crescendo rhythm, and then sando for in forte, right? And we have to keep that, and then suddenly go down again. But it has to come out much more. Let's go from, what's a good spot to go?
30?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is 30 good? No, let's go a bit earlier. Maybe let's go from 23?
Yeah.
Okay,
23.
23. Viola, when you have your... Oh, sorry, I have to read your clef. These things, yeah? So, can you bring out the legato more? Across the string, yeah? Dee-da-dee-do, yo-yo-yo. Very, very sort of smooth in your wrist, and just draw it out, yeah? It sounds lovely, just a bit more of it. 23 then.
3.
No, 22 we want to call.
Okay.
Ya da dee da da da.
22.
Bravo. Listen to piano. Ludwig, much more ritardando, because what's coming now? What's introduced now? At this spot, what's happening now?
Second subject.
Wonderful. Our beautiful viola has second subject, and if she doesn't get a more introduction into lingering a little bit and showing us that small step contrasting, really a very contrast to our bottom, this more shy introvert second subject, yeah? She can't quite play it out like that, so we need a slightly slower tempo and a more introduction to this. All right, so can I have 2 bars before that? Would that work?
Yeah. Maybe.
You know where we are?
Yeah, 36.
36, yeah.
36. Sorry.
2, 3.
Excuse me, I can't hear the cello enough. Can you respond a bit more? It sounds very lovely. Just make a bit more, maybe be a bit more connected with your bow to the string, and the other instruments. As soon as you hear that the tune is somewhere else, go down a little more. Even though it's, I know it says crescendo there in the viola, but only a little bit. Maybe not quite as much. Yeah. So that is melts in. Piano color was lovely, as soft as possible there. Yeah. Again, these 2 bar before 36.
36, 2, 3.
And Carlots. Excuse me. I just need, you know, they have this and you go against it. Can you really play this out?
This one?
Where we just
Or
been,
that one?
where we've just been.
45.
Yeah, 45. Yeah,
This
yeah,
one?
this one. This
Uh-huh.
one. Really,
Okay.
we really need full sound here. You finish their line, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very important to have that strongly finished.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the one more, the viola second subject.
38.
Yes, let's go back there. It's coming, right? 2 bars into it.
Oh, 2 bars.
36.
2, 3.
Excuse me. Have much more sound. It's another of these where a rare unisono moment from like in the opening when you had the tune, and here again you basically interrupt, but with a really resonant. You could even try. Have it on the G string, yeah? I don't know, but just more ringing sound. Can we have that? Do you know where I'm talking? And 48.
Yeah, 48.
So can we go from there?
2, 3.
Wonderful. Excuse me, I think, you have an upbeat, don't you?
Yeah.
Can you hear his upbeat, a quaver upbeat?
Oh, sorry, is this in
Where we just been, before this little
No.
cordetta, the closing section,
So
in
I
bar
have-
62.
Yeah.
One up.
In 62 we have a quaver upbeat from the
Yeah.
piano. Yeah? Can you go with the quaver upbeat? Very nice, very nice, very lovely. One more time, I really like what Ludwig does. I really, it's beautiful in the development, you know, just this shimmering light and that surprise of this development, which actually has to be so piano, yeah, and so different because it's in the music history quite a something that this development is like that and not so super dramatic and straight goes on and so and we need that light. Think of the French Riviera light or something, yeah. And you can sometimes take even a bit more time to, so really dreamlike, yeah, and we all listen. And then, but of course there's a danger that we lose the line, yeah. Also when we have it in pianissimo, when we go then sometimes we go a bit backwards, so it's sort of, we linger, but we can't quite lose the direction. Yeah, so always think it goes forward, but take time, sort of dream along, yeah. So can we go the 73 again, the development?
73.
Yeah, so I just want to say, for instance, Jenny, when you have it. Just maybe more? A bit more, yeah, a more vibrato, maybe tiny more narrow vibrato, and the bow much more legato. Loose wrist, and so it's lovely. Upper half, yeah, something like that. 73.
2, 3.
Oh, I think maybe it's the semiquaver. It sounds a bit da 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 da. So yeah, pa 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 ti pa ti pa. A bit calmer, a little bit calmer. So the semiquaver. Oh, I have to be in time, but yeah, sort of trotting along. Yeah. Okay. To there. Pianissimo. Wonderful. Now the tennis turns soft. French Riviera. Wonderful. Nice. One second. So this is a bit an odd section coming up now, right? Isn't it? Here he confuses us a lot. Can we hear what the piano is doing? Just can you play us the harmony? Maybe every crotchet. Can you play us in chords or something? Listen, harmonies. Wow. Can you hear that? This it's really, and then you have all those sharps and flats and things, and this. So he really wants us to be diffuse. He doesn't want to tell us a straight key, a harmony, very clear. He wants us to have these color stretches. It's so typical for that music. And then we have to find this line as well, and the beauty of the sound. And da dee da da. So really live in those little corners. And what is that actually? Where did he steal it from?
The main theme.
Exactly. Yeah. Just this little from but the second bar of the main theme, yeah. And so he puts it through all sort of harmonies, and then whoever has a more marked tune like that needs to come out, as you sure do. And then when we have then we remember the beautiful Riviera time, yeah? It's sort of this longer sound and the dreamlike thing. But otherwise, just go harmony and that rhythm. Just listen. Listen to that weirdness. And when you play it, can you really make sure that your left line is sort of a long line?
Yeah.
A long line, and not to umpatita, but more umbadi,
Okay. Yeah.
more flatter.
Yeah.
So yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So bar 100.
Yeah.
Okay, excuse me. In 116, when there's now a combination the second subject, yeah, in violin and viola, and the cello has the first one, and you are on the beat, so you go bum, beat, ba, ya, da, da, da. Even though it's in piano, but be clear that you are different, yeah, you are different. So we have a combination of two themes together. What he's using there in this development. So let's be really aware of this, right? I don't want to be too nasty and now work on intonation for that other thing. It wasn't quite in tune, yeah? You can do it another time maybe. Okay, let's go on. You know, from 100 to 116, the intonation wasn't so great. But maybe if we have time later. Let's go on for now. Can we go 116?
Yeah. 2, 3.
Sound, nice vibrato and very good, very good. Let me just go back to what was it I wanted to say there. You know, that high point didn't come quite through before. Where was this? About 125 high point or something. Mm-hmm. I think that's again one which you have to build a bit more thoughtfully in a short time, because you know, before you have all these dreamlike things, the second subject and against the first subject, yeah, and then you have how many bars for the crescendo? Two, 1.5, 2, yeah, and then you have to just go out of another emotional gear into this, yeah, and then come back again. And when that happens, I always feel I have to push you along or something. It doesn't happen with enough personal drive or so. Do you think you can gear yourself there a bit more? Can we go from 116 again?
Yeah.
yeah, the vibrato, the pizzicato is too abrupt. Think more of a fleshy left hand finger, and the movement not like this, but so I use the fattest bit of my finger, which is quite a bit, and then a smoother movement, yeah, not such a woof, a ripped off sound, yeah, yeah. So it has a bit more softer resonance. Something like that. All right. So I shouldn't have interrupted you maybe, but I couldn't help. Can we go yum da 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 da? That's 135 with upbeat.
3, 4, 5.
Where just where you have the pizzicatos, and then I let you sure play the recap. Yeah.
I'll play from 133. Sorry,
Okay.
134.
134. Yeah. Blom, blom, blom. Build, yeah, more. Nearly. Ludwig, all my compliments for your playing, wonderful. I just actually have to throw this little anecdote in there, because Faure, he went to this Niedermeyer school, you might know, right? From I think for 11 years in his childhood, where everything was free, schooling, everything for musicians to become a musician, and they had to practice in a room with 20 pianos. Can you imagine after school sitting there? 20 pianos sitting there, they all had to play some Renaissance music or whatever they learned. And in the afternoon, they had a teacher that was the Saint-Saëns, 10 years older than Faure, and he taught them all extra hours and gave them instruction in the music of Brahms and Liszt and Wagner, and so that they heard all that stuff as well. But just can you imagine the noise, these kids sitting there, 20 people all lined up.
They have to focus.
Absolute focus. Anyway, you sound amazing. Can I just point out here, when you play these chords, these off chords, I wouldn't make them so oof. I would make them again loud, but boom. Maybe a wrist down and bounce back or something. Yeah. Also, then they will hear you better, I think. Yeah. Otherwise, it was a bit out in sync. Yeah. I don't know. I think you played ya ba ba ba. Yeah. So the last semiquaver goes with the piano. Yeah. Ya bi ba bi da. This is actually the piano who does that recapitulation start. Yapi ba pipa, you just go on the top of the last semiquavers with him. Do you understand?
Yep.
Can we just maybe do
maybe
that bar?
Which is 58.
Yeah, it's okay.
158.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. No, not wait. Don't wait. Ba 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 cha da.
Okay.
Ya ba ba. So you slow down the first semiquavers of the last quartet. Ya bi ba chi da da da. Yeah.
Sorry. It's just because I don't have the beat one in.
But you have the fourth beat.
Yes.
Ya ba ba bi.
Yeah. Okay.
Ya ba da bi da.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay, we need to go back to 5. We need to go back to 1, 5, 3. Otherwise, it won't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did I don't think I'm understanding what
Aha.
you're saying.
So
that little upbeat, that up note to that bar, is he playing that?
he has all semiquavers.
Oh, okay.
So you have to hang ya bi ba pa ti.
Okay,
But it's
I
actually not so
understand.
much your
Yeah,
responsibility.
understand. Good.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
From 153.
1, 5, 3.
2, 3.
We start from the octaves
Okay,
down.
so we're going from 150.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I know what it is. I know what it is. You know, he goes ya pa pa, and then you go ba ba blop. You have the one alone, and he has the offbeat, and I think that throws you.
Right.
Di da
We
blop.
did it okay before.
Oh, sorry.
Now I'm thinking about it. It's falling apart.
Is it time?
It is time.
It is time.
It is time.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
thank you very
What-
much, Elisabeth.
Congratulations. You
Thank
did a
you.
super job, guys. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes. Virtuoso. Thanks for having me. Okay, great.